good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. This is your boy right here with you, JJ, once again at JJ's PC Builds. We're going to go ahead and get started with something a little bit different today. We're going to take a look at the MSI Suprim nvidia 40 series gaming card. So stick around, don't go anywhere, don't touch your dial. We will be right back after this little extreme B-roll right here at JJ's PC Builds. And welcome back from that B-roll right there. What we're doing is we're going on a little adventure today. We're going to take and we're going to review, not review, but we're going to look at the MSI, the RTX 4090 Supreme. It seems that, I was sitting there looking at, the card and everything else, and it looked pretty interesting. I figured that, I'd take y'all along for the ride, and we'll look together and see what's going on with this card. I hear a lot of good reviews and everything else, so do stick around. We got more for you. But before we get it started, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. It would help us out here and help us build the channel and get the channel further ahead. So if you're gonna, if you love the videos and everything else, just like and subscribe. We're still working towards the 1,000 subscriber mark, and we're working hard for you. So let's go ahead and, just subscribe. And if you like the videos, put a thumbs up on it. Or if, just watch the videos from the beginning to the end, would help us out tremendously. Would help us build the channel to get to our goals of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So please help us out here and subscribe. And now we get right back to the video. Alrighty, we're going to look at the design of this and see what's going on. See, to give you an idea of what the looks are going to be about. So let's go ahead and pull up the design right here. So let's go ahead and get it going on. Ooh. See, now the looks of the card, I like the looks of the card, just to let you know, and it does look really good because it has it looks almost like an airbrush design. I like how they got it all set up to where, they got the RGB on it around the fan. That looks really, really good. So, there's not too much bad things I can say about this card, but I can tell you the good things. But I hope the good things turn out good. But stick around to the end and I'll give you my final thoughts. We're just going to go through and see what the card can do and tell you what my thoughts at the end are going to be. But so far it's looking pretty good. I like how they did the finishing touches around the fan. It's showing that it's got a lot of fan blades and airflow. So, it really looks good to me. I mean, depends on the the scalability and how well it runs in your PC. I know some PCs that, people out there with some decent PCs, they're like, well, the card doesn't fit in my PC. Well, sometimes cards won't fit, but sometimes, you got to make a little sacrifice in order to get performance. So do remember that. I know there's some videos I said where, why do you have to sacrifice your visual of what you built for performance? Well, as years go by, the cards scale up to higher clock speeds and everything else. So, jumping up to the next level will be up to you. If you can afford it, that would be, an awesome deal. If you can't, then we understand. There's always alternatives. So remember, this is just one alternative. This is one alternative of going up to the next level. And I love what they did with the card. I mean, it's got the metal brush, the brushed metal on it, and I think it's really good. So, and it's got the triple frozer on it. It's got the triple frozer on it, and what more can you ask for? And it's got the 5.0 Torx fans. I haven't heard any bad reviews on it, and also too, it looks like it's got ring lighting around the fan. That looks like it's pretty cool. You can't ask for more than that. Especially how they got the LEDs wrapped in around the ring of the fan. That I think was the coolest part, of the GPU that I've seen. So, moving on. And the vapor chamber, they got a really decent vapor chamber on it. It speaks for itself, but it depends on when you put it in your PC and what it gives you as performance. That's gonna be the next little cue. Now to get to the juicy part, what y'all have been waiting for, the what's going on with it. Okay, so what they're saying here is the nvidia GeForce RTX 4090 is the ultimate GeForce GPU. It brings on enormous leap in performance, efficiency, and AI powered on graphics. Experience ultra high level performance gaming, incredibly detailed virtual world with ray tracing, my bad, and unprecedented productivity. The new way to create it is powered by NVIDIA Ada Lovelace architecture, and it comes with the 24 gigabytes of GDDR6X memory to deliver the ultimate experience in gamers and creators. So it is gaming and creating as well, just to let you know. Oh, I better move my head. My head's in you guys' way. Let me move it over here out of the way for you. There we go. Alright, so the boost clock and memory speed, extreme performance, 2640 megahertz from the MSI Center. They do have their own software with this, so make sure if you get the card to download their software from their site as well. And it's got the boost of 2625 megahertz gaming in silent mode at 21 gigabits per second. It's got the 24 gigabytes of GDDR6X. It has just 3 display ports at 1.4A, HDMI port, supports 4K at 120 HDR and 8K at 60 Hz HDR, and variable refresh rates as specified in HDMI 2.1. Now the Frozer thermal design, you all know about it, so I shouldn't have to go through that, but it's got a dual bias, and for full performance in gaming mode or low noise silent mode, which it has one of those switches. And it comes with, you can get the MSI center, and it's got mystic lighting. So what is so special about this card? Well, let's see what we can pull up. Let's go ahead and just pull this up right here and hit copy and open up a new screen. I told y'all I take you along with me how I do it. So I'm looking to see if there's any other specs that might come out. That anybody's got any other specs on this? No. But what we can find out is this. Let's find out what the price is on Amazon. So that way you guys get a good look at the price. And we'll just paste it here. Okay, so this card, what they're saying is that it's going for $2,249, and for the liquid cooled one is $2,699. Now I understand, you can go through and find it anywhere. Like if this is the 3090, but they got that at $1,648. But I'm sure you can probably find it cheaper. There's always Newegg, there's always eBay, unless you go used, and that'll be up to you. So, but from what I'm seeing right here, you got like your two options. You can go without a cooler, just regular fans on it, or you can go the fact of having a liquid cooler on it, with an extra fan on it, it looks like. So, if that's what you're looking for, we can look at it right here. It looks like it comes with a fan already built on it for keeping the VRMs and stuff cool on the card, and it looks like it has a 280 mil radiator cooler for it. That looks like a 280 to me. So, but it depends on what you want to buy. So, looking at the card, doesn't look like a bad deal. So you got the price, you got the fixation, and you know what the card's all about. And let's go ahead and kind of blow my head back up so that way y'all can see me. There we go. Now y'all can see me. But anyway, my conclusion to the card is this. I like how it looks. I'm going to be honest with you. I like how the card looks. It looks like a good card. It to me, it looks like it's strong, it's powerful in what it's going to do. But in all actuality, for some people that can't afford that card, I understand. Me, I don't have the card right now myself. This is just my valuation of it as it stands for right now until I do get the card. And when I get the card, then, I'll be able to review it more in-depth detail. But for now, I'm just giving you what the sites are telling me. I'm not going to give you stats or anything else. I'm sure you can find those, but I want to see if it's going to compare to the Founders Edition, the 4090 Founders Edition, compared to this card here. If they compare the same way, or is there more boost with the Suprim card than there is the Founders Edition? That's going to be for another video in the future. So do stick around for that. As far as the fans and stuff, I like how the fans look. It's got, decent RGB. It's not overbearing to where, it's the RGB is not to where it's like a nuisance kind of RGB. It's like a decent, subtle RGB. Something that'll light up your case a little bit, something that'll light up the card a little bit, and it looks good. Now the metal brush, I like how the metal brush looks. It looks really good on that, And with it having many display ports and having an HDMI port, I wish if they were going to do something like that, this is the downside. We're going to the downside now. Okay? I don't mind 3 display ports, but I would rather have 2 display ports and 2 HDMI ports. Okay? I usually mainly with my rig here, I use HDMI. I don't use DisplayPort. And the reason why I don't use DisplayPort is because I have no monitors here with DisplayPort on it. They're all HDMI connections, so if I'm gonna do I want to do 3 monitors with HDMI port, that would be great to have 3 HDMI ports, for 3 monitors. But I got 2 monitors, and the way I got this connected here is basically I had to use a DisplayPort adapter for one monitor and I had to use the HDMI for the other. So, it is what it is. So, but just to let you know, I love to see a discrete graphics card with at least 2 HDMI ports and 2 display ports. So that's one of the bad caveats with this. Another thing, the downside to this is that, I hope they got the connectors fixed so that way the card doesn't catch fire. I understand what they were saying about, about the connectors not being connected in all the way. You can't blame that all onto the user. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. And nvidia, I want you to hear me on this. You cannot blame it all on the user. That's, when you want to do a 3D printed, those connector ends, those look 3D printed to me. Those don't, or even molded plastic. I mean, if the molded plastic's too thin, it's going to cause some kind of burn through. And from what I've seen on that the connectors, the plastic's a little too thin on the connector for each one of the connections. They're a little too thin. So if you're going to make it paper thin, yeah, that card's going to heat up. It's going to melt that molten plastic or 3D printed plastic. Either way, it's got to be one or the other. And it's going to burn right through and it's going to cause a bunch of problems. Because if you're not using high treated plastic, heat treated plastic, it's just going to melt. And that's one of my things that I've been thinking about. Everybody says, well, it's because it's user error and everything else. Not everything's user error. Especially if you make the latch point, you don't make the latch point correctly because it won't snap in. If I push it into the card and it doesn't snap in when I push it all the way down, then that is a manufacturer's fault because the snapping's not going all the way down. And if you want to solve some kind of issue like that, then you need to put a side to side snaps. You got a front snap. You got the connector this long and it snaps over the center. Then have it snap on the sides. And this way you won't have that problem. So if it snaps in the front and on the sides, you know the connector's fully connected. You can do it that way too. And it's just a little common sense. Because you know what, a few cents in plastic will save you a couple dollars going down the road in, you know, getting cards returned to you, and then you have to repair them and then resend them back out as a refurbished, and then you just cost yourself a ton of money other than spending a few cents to put two little connectors on the two little snaps on the sides and one in the top. And that way you cover all three sides. I know you can't do the other side because it's too close to the board, the graphics card board. So at least if you have it on side by side and on the top, it'll pull it in and it'll keep it stable. So maybe that's a solution to you. That's just an idea. You go from there. But anyway, another thing that's bad about the card is the price. I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay for a card that costs as much as a car. Okay, that you have to understand. I'm not going to pay for any graphics card on the market today that costs as much as buying a new car or a used car even. That's just plain ridiculous. You know, I understand you got to make money, but also too, you got to remember, if you got a million, you know, you got a million people out there buying your card, right? And if you said, oh, my card's at $1, don't quote me on it. This is just an example. If you got a million people out there that buys your cards and you say, oh, they're at $1, that's $1 million. Now you turn around, you add some zeros to it, and then, you know, you're up to $2.7 billion, and then you're up to, you know, you're not going to get more than, you know, $27 billion off of this sale. So you're not going to make that much, but you want to keep your customers happy. Lower your prices, especially with your older cards. You're raising the prices. Your AIB partners are raising the prices while you're trying to keep them at MSRP. But your MSRP is not doing any justice because it's too high. So for anybody to buy an nvidia card just so you can make $1, and your AIB partners can make like 100 times more off of your card than what it's worth, you got to look at the cost of the card. If each one of your cards cost $100 to make, and you're selling it for $2,000, $2,700, you're making 2,700% profit. Okay, that's not fair to the consumer. So really think about when you buy the card, everybody out there, what you're paying for, what you're getting in performance. Okay, is it actually giving you something, or can, you know, let's say a 30 series or a 20 series card give you the same performance? Look at the bottom line. Look at what the cards cost. Just to let you know. But next week, we will be having, once again, graphics card nightmares, and it will be posted up on Graphics Card Nightmares. I'm sorry about this week, everybody. I ran into some personal problems, so I had to take care of some things here, and I do apologize. But tonight will be late night tech tips with your boy JJ once again. That will be coming up tonight. As far as me doing live streaming, I decided for right now that until I can figure out how the live streaming actually works better for this channel, I'm going to put it on pause, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to test it, and I'm going to see if I can get it to work correctly, the way I want it to work for the time that I use. So do be patient with me. Like I told you in the beginning of this adventure, I'm still new at it, and yeah, I'm still a little bit new at making these videos. Okay, I don't have years on me, but we'll get there. So be patient, do subscribe, and do like my videos and watch them fully, because even they're educational and they're entertaining. We'll put it to you like that. But anyway, let me go ahead and close with this. MSI's got a good product, don't get me wrong, but the price to performance isn't there. So they perform very well, but the price is just too high for me. In my blood, it's too rich. So, but that's my final take on it. So do like and subscribe. And it's your first time here, subscribe. It would appreciate and help out the channel very much and help us grow. But there's another thing that came up into my attention. We had some new subscribers today, and I just want to say thank you to the new subscribers that came on the channel. And we do say thank you. We got 2 more subscribers. Now we are up to 25 subscribers. Today, mark today, on the 20th of November, we are at 25 subscribers. And as far as watch time, we're at 150 hours watch time. We're getting there. We still got to make up to 4,000 hours. So I'm just letting you know, this is where we're at, and there's no skewing anything or anything else. I can show you if you wish. I can show you anytime. If you got any comments or questions, just leave it down in the video, the comments below for this video. I'll read them, and we'll be more than happy to get show you that information on the next video. But until the next time and the next video, this is JJ, your boy. Do have yourself a wonderful day, and happy holidays to you, and have a great Thanksgiving.